Hi, Greg Tyree here. It's about 7:40 in the morning on Palm Sunday, and I thought I would take a moment to talk about Easter and some of the traditions that we have. I recently heard someone criticizing Christians for hijacking the pagan holidays and the pagan traditions. They say this also of Christmas, but we could say that for another post. So let me talk about that for a moment. So Easter, of course, for over 1 billion Christians worldwide, represents the day that Jesus raised from the dead. Now, most of us know that Jesus didn't raise from the dead on a particular day in April that we know. We don't know what day it was, but we know about what time of year it was, and we know that he died at Passover, the Jewish celebration of the Exodus of those that came out of Egypt. And so we understand all this, but where does the word Easter come from? Where does the Easter bunny come from? Easter eggs and things like this. So let's talk about that a little bit. We know that Christianity became very prominent by the 4th century, and under Constantine the Emperor, Christianity became adapted as the religion of the Roman Empire. And so at that time, of course, the Romans, of course, had their own traditions. We as Christians would call them pagan traditions, meaning non-Christian. And we would see Easter as one of those. Easter, as a word, is a derivative of the goddess of fertility. And of course, we think about that. We think about spring. It was celebrated on, I think, after the first full moon of the spring equinox. And so that was when the Romans celebrated fertility or new life. So there's the hare, H-A-R-E, rabbit. We know that rabbits produce prolifically. And of course, eggs that represent, of course, fertility and new life. So at the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD, a council called by Constantine and his ecumenical council, they decided, among other things, that it would be great if the Christians worldwide would celebrate Jesus' resurrection on the same Sunday. And so they said, why not use this day from the Roman tradition? And so they adapted that. They didn't steal it or hijack it. They adapted to it pragmatically and said, okay, we already have this day set aside to represent new life. We already have this day set aside where people are off, where people are celebrating. And so they, as Christians, decided to adapt that. And worldwide, we know it as Easter. So we have Easter is a derivative of the goddess of fertility. We have rabbits, fertility. We have eggs, new life. And so these things became part of the Easter celebration. As Christians, we think of the Easter bunny and the Easter egg hunt as a secular aspect, not harmful at all, but as a secular aspect. And of course, we know that the resurrection of our Savior, Jesus Christ, being the religious or sacred aspect of Easter. So don't get too upset, too confounded by that. It's nothing wicked about it. Before we get accused Christians of cultural appropriation, remember it was the Romans who adapted the Roman tradition. So it's 2,000 years ago. And so it's all good. Easter, Resurrection Sunday. Let's just be glad Jesus is alive. He's on his throne. He's coming back one day. And this beautiful time of year reminds us of new life in Jesus Christ. Happy Easter, happy Resurrection Sunday. God bless you.